mountains, 360 degrees.
Yeah, look at that. That's real nice.
Oh yeah, we got ourselves a little fire going here. This is the beer that really captures the Christmas spirit the most.
And the stew has been stewing for quite some time. Ooh! Cheers, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
We've got to do something because we'll be stuck here otherwise. Not good.
Hey, welcome back to the DK Adventure Co.
I'm JR.
And I'm Kyle. And we got another trip for you this time. We are doing some more dispersed car camping, some cold weather camping this time because it's getting to be late December. Brr.
Yeah, looking forward to it being a little chillier. We can really snuggle up in our sleeping bags and tents, and well, me a tent anyway. You're going to be camping in the Subaru tomorrow, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. I've been doing a car camp out with the bed in the back of the Forester, just like I did in our summer camp out. And tonight we're just chilling and enjoying the nice December mountain air. We are at kind of the base camp for the night, the DK Adventure Co. Clubhouse, we like to call it, up here. It's just in the mountains of North Georgia, so a great jumping off point for camping this weekend.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. We've got, of course, we're right up the foothill of the big mountains and everything here in Georgia. Mm-hmm. So lots of stuff around us and forest roads. We're going to maybe map some stuff out and kind of get a plan together.
Yeah, that's right. The plan for tonight is we've got to plan exactly where we're going to go because we're not sure yet. We're just going to kind of find an area of the forestry roads that look cool and has some good campsites. So I'll pull up the map and we'll take a look. There are some campsites that I've kind of scoped out before, so I kind of know where some good areas are. But you know, it's always an adventure when you go out there and you explore and you don't know what campsites are going to be claimed or the conditions of the roads or how things are looking out there.
Yeah, and we usually tend to see newer campsites and mark them for future, so maybe we'll find something that we've seen in the past and just weren't able to get to for whatever reason, and maybe we'll find something new. Who really knows? That's kind of the fun of the adventure that we are undertaking this weekend.
Absolutely, and I'm going to be excited to test out some new gear, show you guys all the new gear once we get to camp, and we'll see how it performs. But for tonight, we've got to map out where we're going. I've got some chores to take care of, some food prep for meals we're cooking this weekend. And, you know, we are up in the mountains, so we might just kick back and enjoy a campfire with a beer, a pre-camping campfire.
I'm looking forward to that. I love good snuggly campfire.
Hell yeah.
So I've scoped out some of these sites before and dropped some pins on my map for campsites that I've seen. And we'll take a look and decide where we're going to head out to tomorrow.
Got any ideas of where you're thinking?
We've got this good one, and I took a photo of it. Pretty big. Nice area. We might go check this one out. I've actually been to it before, just drove by. This is an area that I have not been to, and it's right on the AT. So this is over near Blood Mountain, and there are some driving roads.
Where is Blood Mountain in relation to, say, Springer?
East. It's the tallest point of the Appalachian Trail in Georgia.
In Georgia, okay.
Yeah.
Prepping some food here for dinner tomorrow. Gonna chop up my onion. Garlic.
Speaking of that, hold on, before we get any further, how about step 2?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, Steve.
Go on.
Well, all right, we got a nice little fire started out behind the garage over here. Just gonna hang out for the rest of the night, kick back, relax, and be up early tomorrow morning and pack up and hit the road for a camping weekend.
Yeah, what time are you thinking of waking up in the morning?
I don't know, like 7 maybe.
7?
Yeah, try to take advantage of as much daylight as we can. You know, wintertime, the daylight is hard to come by.
Yeah, it may look dark out here, but I don't really think it's that late. What's it? Maybe 7:30.
Whew. Yeah. Damn.
So it's looking dark out here, but we still got a little bit of time before we're gonna go to bed here. And I'm really enjoying this view of the stars because where I live, I get the bright ones, but I don't get all these.
Good morning. It's just after 7 a.m. and we are up and at 'em. Gonna get the Forester loaded up here in a few minutes. Get all the stuff together and get ready to go camping. Good morning, JR.
Morning.
What you got there for brekkie?
Got some Walmart bakery donuts.
Ooh. That's right, classic breakfast. Donuts and can of coffee.
Just making things quick and easy for today, and gonna hit the trails here in a little bit.
Got all our stuff in here, enough for some camping. Got our firewood up top in the roof basket now. Ooh. Yeah, I'd say we're about good to go, aren't we?
Yeah, everything's pretty much packed here. Just a couple more things inside we're gonna grab, and we're gonna get it rolling. It's a little overcast, and the sun was supposed to have come out, but not quite yet.
Yeah. So we made good time, got up nice and early, and we're going to be on the road and on the trail by 8 o'clock. So making good time, and we'll hopefully make it to the campsite pretty early if we find the good campsite that we're looking for.
Yeah, goal today for me is I'd like to get the fire going and kind of just have it going all throughout the day. So once we put that stew on there, we're ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, certainly a bit chilly. It just cracked about 40 degrees here, and it's overcast and a little misty, so that makes it a little colder. So let's go ahead and hit the road. Today, it's actually part of the forestry district where we went for our first video that we posted on the channel, if you've seen that, the Dispersed camping weekend in the National Forest. So we're going back to that same area of the National Forest, but not quite to the same places that we went last time. We're going to different places where we didn't even look before, and I've since mapped out a few new areas. So excited to see what camping we can find today. we found ourselves a campsite. It's not even 9:30. So got here nice and early, just as planned. The area we had in mind basically had no campers anywhere. So we've got this nice big open area here, right off the forestry road. Got a nice fire pit. Got a little path behind the campsite that we'll check out in a bit that goes up to a hill. And there's signs of previous activity here. The last campers were nice enough to leave us these big pallets of wood. This is something. This is, man, they must have needed some serious power to get these back here. Big truck to get all these pallets back here and piled up some wood. So we'll have plenty of wood for the night. JR's having himself a brunch here, I guess.
Yeah, just a little roast beef sub, some cheese and mustard.
And we'll have plenty of wood for the day because I got a basket full of wood on the roof. And it's cold, so we'll want to make a fire soon for sure. And although it's kind of a dreary and cold day, we knew what we were in for, winter camping and all. Well, let's go ahead and start setting up, huh? Alrighty, we got the campsite set up. Let's give you a little tour. Not too much to it, but you know, Subaru Forester over here, hammock and tent over here. So JR's got the Nemo Aurora two-person here, same one that we use in our backpacking trips, right? You use it on the Cumberland Island, and yeah.
I did hammock camping when we went to Fort the
Right.
FDR. So
You got your, you know, this isn't your camping hammock though.
this is not my camping hammock. This is just my casual hanging out hammock.
And then I've got the Forester set up just like our dispersed camping trip this summer. So I'm going to be sleeping in the Forester here. So we got the canopy out on the side, and you know, got the table and stove and water set up, and cooler, tools out. Got our flag flying. Go Braves. Kind of windy day. So in the Forester, I've got my bed is inflating right now, self-inflating, so I'll come back to it in a couple hours and see where it is. But yeah, I'll be chilling in here tonight. Hopefully can keep warm in there, you know, off the cold ground.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we've got a pretty decent sized fire pit, so that's going to be real nice when we are cooking dinner later. But it's nowhere near dinner time. It's only 10:15. So all we have to do today is just hang out, relax, camp, enjoy the outdoors. There's a path behind our campsite here, so we're thinking of taking a hike up there in a minute and seeing what we can see. Checking out this path up here. And you know, we did set up camp. So when you're on camping time out here in the wilderness, life moves at a slower pace. So that means it's time for step 2 already. Cheers. It's 10:20 a.m. somewhere.
Here.
Right here on camping time. This is kind of steep. Looks like a driving trail. So you could get a vehicle up here, but I didn't, I feel like my Forester could probably make it up here, but
It would struggle.
it would struggle, and I'm not quite ready for these kind of climbs. Ooh, we made it to the top of that path, but boy, that was
Steep.
that was steep. That's quite the hike. It's like 200 foot elevation, and not a lot of distance. But we are rewarded. At the top here, it looks like there's another campsite all the way up here. Really small though, and really no level ground, and the fire ring here looks really old. Hasn't been used in a long time. But you come camp here because it's right on the scenic views of the mountains. If you can see them through the trees, really good view right now, especially this time of year with all the leaves gone. We're looking southeast over the national forest. Very nice. Well, we kept following this path and we went about 1/3 of a mile and we've reached a very secluded campsite on the top of this beautiful overlook. Got a fire ring and everything. Not very big, but very beautiful.
Nothing but mountains, 360 degrees.
Yeah, look at that. That's real nice. Huh. Currently 3,200 feet above sea level. Well, that's nice. If we get like maybe something a little more capable of crawling, and we can come up here with some backpacking gear or something someday.
Yeah.
Because this looks like a real nice site. You can string up some hammocks for sure. I mean, you could probably do a small tent, maybe over here on the other side of the fire pit. Nice. Little secret campsite. Made it back to camp. Just hanging out, doing some chores. JR's processing some wood for us, sawing up some limbs and breaking them down into some nice burnable wood. After lunch, we'll get the fire started because we've got a meal for dinner that takes quite some time to cook and requires a live fire to do so. But until then, we're just hanging out. We've got all day long here. We have plenty of daylight left. We really arrived at a prime time. I really enjoy being able to get up basically the crack of dawn and get out to the forest because you get all the good sights, and you know, it's December. Not a lot of people are out camping in general. We thought that there might be some hunters camping, but we've only saw one other group camped out pretty close to the entrance of the forestry road, so no hunters so far. It is right in the middle of deer hunting season down here in Georgia, but no one's around. So we basically got run of the place. So just gonna hang out, relax, have fun camping.
This thing is probably too close to my leg, but just got to be careful.
Practice safe practices.
Safe practices.
While JR slaves away processing wood and sawing, let's do a new gear report. Show you guys some of the new gear that I've picked up since the last trip. I think the biggest and most notable new piece of gear is the roof basket. I finally installed a roof basket on the Forester. Been wanting to do this for months. So this gives us a lot of extra flexibility in what we can carry. You know, can definitely pack a lot more gear and haul it anywhere we go. And then I've got the cargo net on there as well. So for this trip, we put all the firewood into the roof basket. Definitely came in handy. And this one is pretty cool. Got a new thing called the base extenders from Luno Car Camping. So these are inflatable cubes that you stuff into the back of your car, so they fit between the front seats and this gap in where you put your feet for passengers. So this is so that you can put a mattress on top of it so it supports you. So these definitely come in handy. They're also really durable, kind of made with like a material that's similar to like a river raft, so you could pull that out when you're not sleeping and use it you know, around camp, put it in the dirt, use it to prop your feet up. So that's a pretty cool gear pickup. Kind of a small item, but still neat and convenient. This is the Luno multi-purpose camping mat. So it's got a couple handles sewn into the side of it. You can use it to carry things, you know, haul firewood around in it, and then when you're done, put it down, keep your gear off the ground. I've got it as a little entry mat to the car here. And finally, I think this is the piece of gear I'm most excited to test out this trip. Got a new cooking rig for the campfire. So got a tripod to put over a campfire, and then got a new camping Dutch oven. So we can cook dinner in this tonight. It's gonna be cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Looking forward to some stew.
Just hanging out around camp. It's just about lunchtime, but not too hungry yet, been snacking out. Got the Sweetwater American Lager. Sweetwater is big brewery out of Atlanta, formerly Craft. Now maybe not, since I got bought out by a big company, but it's cold and windy. I had to switch over to the beanie, and it actually started sprinkling just a little bit. We can't check the forecast because we don't have phone signal out here, but as we know, always be prepared for any and all winter weather conditions. So it'll be a shame if it actually starts raining hard enough where we can't fire up the fire. As a backup, I could throw this on the camp stove over there, but really hoping for a nice campfire meal. The rain certainly won't help with the cold, and that'll drop down the temperature. But just gotta stay dry and stay warm. Hang out and enjoy the forest.
Cheers.
It started to rain a little bit more, so we moved the chairs up under the canopy, but looks like the rain has subsided. So JR is getting back to wood processing, and I'm gonna do some food prep for dinner just to have that ready. So right now I'm chopping up some potatoes. A nice big bag of gold potatoes here. What's going on, JR?
Just I think I'm gonna do one more good sized branch here, and then I'll probably start setting up the wood for the fire.
Oh yeah, build us a nice little base.
Yeah, get a nice base going, get some hot coals. That way, by the time we're ready to cook, we got a nice warm fire already. I think we got enough wood that we can make this thing last kind of throughout the afternoon and night.
All night?
At least until it starts raining.
What about the pallets over there? I guess that's our emergency wood, right?
Yeah, I haven't decided if I want to use any of that. I kind of just want to use branches and logs we brought. I don't know.
Oh.
We'll keep it in mind.
Yeah, it's there if we need it over there.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Just, I don't like putting nails in the fire and stuff.
Oh yeah. All right, we got everything we need prepped. Got a really big batch of diced potatoes, carrots, and then in here, onion and garlic from last night. So when it gets closer to dinner time and we got that fire nice and warm, I'll get the stew going. Until then, just kicking back, prepping the fire. I might do a little walking around, although we already walked to the main place, which is up the hill over to the other two secret campsites at the top there. So I might just relax in the hammock a bit.
Oh yeah, we got ourselves a little fire going here. Looking like it's gonna catch, and shouldn't have any issues. First try. Gotta add oxygen to the fire, let it flow through and heat up. Once we get all of these smaller things heated up, we can progressively put on larger logs, and then eventually we got over here, those are the logs we're going to use to heat it up, and these are the cooking logs here for the fire. So once we get heated up and have some of those guys burning, we'll start working towards these, and that's what's going to cook dinner tonight. So hopefully the rain staves off and we can get a nice one going for all day.
Hell yeah. And it looks like the sun is here. We haven't seen too much of the sun today.
Mr. Blue Sky.
I would not call this blue sky, but the sun is at least out, so that bodes well for the weather situation. Hoping that sunlight means that the rain will stay away, at least for a few hours. We wanted to keep the fire going until dinner time, at least, so we can cook dinner. Well, the fire is coming along nicely thanks to Firekeeper JR. Got another beer to enjoy here. So we've got the Academia Brewing Company Fest beer, German style lager. Made for Oktoberfest, but only canned about 3 months ago, so still good. So, Prost.
Prost.
Oh, that's good. I really like the German style lagers.
Yeah, they're good.
Wish more American craft breweries made German style lagers.
They just don't sell, so nobody makes them. Reformation's original thing was they did Belgian style beers, but just nobody drinks Belgian style beers. They just want IPAs in America.
No, I want all kinds.
Jude used to sell pretty well from them actually, but I think it was mostly just because it was like a $10 six-pack for a 9% beer.
If you're out there and you make beer or you're with a brewery, we salute you. Make more lagers and different styles of beers. We'll come enjoy them. We'll come to your brewery and then we'll come camping. Send us beers.
For those about to brew, we salute you. Looking like a good old fire there. That's enough. I'm satisfied.
Let it smolder for a bit, catch this log, get some real nice coals.
I don't want it to smolder. I'm gonna keep the fire going, man.
Sorry, I guess smolder's the wrong term. Man, I caught that log on fire real quick, so that means it's nice and hot.
Oh yeah. That's what I wanted to test. I wanted to see how hot it was.
So what you should do is when that crumbles into coals, you should build a little cabin with these logs, and then that'll probably be good enough to cook the meat first. Because I gotta sear the meat, kind of, in the Dutch oven. And then after that, once the liquid's in and it's stewing, it's just a slow
Simmer.
simmering.
Yeah.
So we'll see where to position it. You hang it right here. Pretty hot. Nice thing about the oven is the cast iron conducts the heat well all throughout, and then it'll stay hot. So that's why it's like a nice, reliable camp cooking, because it doesn't have to constantly be exposed to flame to stay hot. And cook.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's getting to the
Chain.
to the chain.
Oh. I think sometime this month I'm gonna take a trip up to the old laundromat and just give all my sleeping bags a good washing and everything.
Cheers.
Prost! Best beer.
Guten Tag.
Been hanging out for a while now, so we'll go ahead and get dinner started. It's only 2:30, but this dinner's going to take a while, so we'll go ahead and get it prepped and get it started. So we've got the Dutch oven here. So first of all, I'm just going to put some oil into it. And then we're going to hang it over the fire and let it get nice and hot. And then we'll be ready to start cooking some meat on there. We are making Campfire beef stew. Nice hearty beef stew for a cold day. There we go. So just let that hang for a bit. Let that oil heat up. Let that Dutch oven heat up. We just need the bottom of the pan for now, so I don't need the lid yet. So we'll keep the lid off for the time being. That Dutch oven is nice and hot. So we'll go ahead and pull that off the fire. And first we're gonna add the beef. So we'll do a bunch of beef made for beef stew, already cubed. Season it a bit. Ooh, that's a lot of meat. This will all get broken down in our stew. This goes back over the fire. I'll pull it off over the next few minutes and keep mixing up the beef. All right, this is about to be smelling real good, real good. It's like giving me a big smile just like watching it, like just having the Dutch oven like hanging over the flames. It's a lot of fun cooking a campfire meal. It's just got like a really cool quality to the meal, even if you could replicate most of this by putting coals or putting this in a stove, on a camp stove. It's really nice.
Yeah, this is very almost like an old school aesthetic feeling to just kind of watching the meat cook and feeding the fire, keeping it hot and sustaining both our warmth and our dinner.
Yeah, and the beef is almost browned through, so when that is done, we start throwing in the other ingredients and then get the proper stew stewing, and it stews for 2 hours. All right, the beef is cooked through enough, so we're going to go ahead and add the next batch of ingredients. Pull that off. Next, we've got onions and garlic. Chopped this up last night, so let's go ahead and get that in there and mix it up, and then put it back on the fire.
My hand is hot holding this camera right next to the fire.
Well, that smells good. It's about to be real smelly with all this garlic in here.
Those hibernating bears about to be out here.
No, keep them hibernating. Keep them
coming out of the
hibernating.
caves.
Ooh, look at that.
Maybe 10 minutes
Until it seems like the onions and garlic are nice and cooked and smelly. Okay, the onions, garlic, and beef are sufficiently cooked, so it's time to put on the broth, and then we're gonna put the lid on and let it stew for a while longer. So just put it down and stir it up a little bit. Beef's all nice and browned. So we got a beef broth, and we're gonna fill it up. I'm not sure how much broth we'll need. We kind of just want to have a liquid that covers everything in the pot. So do a dash more, and that should about do it. You're also going to want to thicken your broth. So I've got some tomato paste and flour. So we put in the tomato paste. Oh. Come on.
Tasty.
If you can't tell, I'm just kind of eyeballing the ingredient amounts for this recipe. It is a stew. It's hard to get wrong. Of course, your flour thickens it even more. Ooh. Well, that's smelling really good. Give that a good stir. Okay. So put the lid on this. And then we're gonna hang it up. And we've got a proper stewing. And I'm not gonna touch that for at least an hour.
Baby, you got a stew going.
As we wait for our stew to cook, might as well kick back and celebrate. 'Tis the season after all. Brought some regalia. Gonna celebrate with a nice drink. What are we drinking here, JR?
So we're drinking today, we got the St. Bernardus Christmas Ale. This is actually the first time I've ever seen it in cans, so that's pretty cool. It's a Belgian Christmas Ale, so it's pretty strong. It's going to be a lot of figgy kind of flavors and some kind of Christmas spices to go along with it. And it's a dark ale. I believe it's a 9.8%, it says, yep. And it's this is probably my favorite Christmas ale that anybody makes. This and then Anchor makes a really good one, but
Really?
this is a traditional Belgian Christmas ale. My favorite, and I'm really looking forward to this. This is gonna be really nice by the fire.
I haven't had this one before. So you have, I take it.
I have, yeah, I have. Every year, this is my go-to. I usually get a 4-pack of bottles, but this is really cool that it's in cans.
Yeah. And this comes from Belgium.
Belgian, yes, traditional Belgian. In the style of the Trappist monks. I don't believe St. Bernardus is technically a Trappist brewery, but in the style.
Okay, wow. So the St. Bernardus Christmas Ale. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go. Woo. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, baby. All right, well, I hope you can kick back and enjoy a drink with us by the fire. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, everybody. Hope you have a good one this year. As we wait on dinner to cook, just wanted to take a moment to appreciate the mountain views we can see out there. You know, we've only got about an hour of sunlight left at this point, so it's really nice up here in the forest. You can see the mountains a lot clearer in the wintertime because the leaves have fallen off the trees. And we really haven't seen barely anyone out here today. We had one car pass our camp on the road here, exactly one, all day long. So it's not a popular time to get out and camp, but I think it's a fantastic time to camp because, you know, there's no bugs out. You don't have to worry about critters like bears. The leaves have fallen from the trees, so you can see more views. It's more fun to make a fire and make some dinner and bundle up in your tent or Subaru Forester, as it were. But yeah, I think it's a great time to camp. You know, December is super underrated. Winter in general, you know, November through March, I think is like people aren't really wanting to camp. They're mainly wanting to camp during the summer, right?
Yeah, I agree. It's a weird thing to say, but honestly, after our last winter campouts, which have been a while now, but I almost like would dream about being bundled up in the sleeping bag. You know, your face is a little cold, but it just feels nice. You get to snuggle up and you just get to feel nice and warm, and ooh, I almost dream about it. It's really nice, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
Yeah, in some ways, winter camping is superior to summer camping. I mean, summer camping has the nice plant foliage and everything, but honestly, in all the other ways, it's a lot of cons. You know, you're sweaty, you have to deal with bugs, you have to deal with a lot more critters, you have to deal with a lot more crowding and campsites out here. So hey, I mean, for those of us that love to camp, wintertime is absolutely the time to go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
think of the litter, and we can see the mountains through the trees. It's just great all around.
Absolutely. And by the way, we want to thank everybody out there. If you are watching this video, thank you so much for watching, and we really appreciate everyone that's watched our videos for the last few months. We've had a ton of fun doing the trips. I mean, we go on the trips regardless, but it's been a lot of fun documenting them and sharing them with everybody.
Yeah, and even if nobody else is watching, I get to go back and relive it, so that's what I care about.
Hell yeah. All right, we've had this stew over the fire for an hour, so time to pull it off and add the last ingredient. We are almost done, everybody. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, damn, that smells amazing.
Oh man, I'm hungry.
Wow. Okay, well, we still got a few extra things to add. So we've got some carrots and potatoes. I don't know if I'm going to add necessarily all of this, but we'll just see how much we can. I'll do some potatoes in there. Taters. Do some carrots in there too. I don't know, what do you think, JR? Should I put more potatoes in there, or does this seem like plenty?
Seems like plenty to me. Do we need any more beef broth, or you think we're good?
We're good, because it's gonna the vegetables, well, the carrots and the potatoes are kind of going to break down and get really soft and tender. So, and we don't want it to overflow.
That would be bad.
All right. So this is the beef stew in its final form, and put the lid on and let it stew for a while longer. We're just cowboys hanging out, Christmas cowboys hanging out by the fire as we wait on our stew to complete. Oh, I really can't wait on this stew to finish. I feel like we're at the camp in Red Dead Redemption 2 when you have like a big pot of stew going over the fire, exactly like this.
Stick to the plan, Kyle. We're going to Tahiti.
I reckon I seen mushrooms with bigger brains. Oh, the sun is starting to set here, and the stew has been stewing for quite some time. Ooh! And we're thinking it's almost time to dig in. So I'm gonna pull this off the fire and let it radiate for a while. And then once it's cool enough, I think we'll go ahead and enjoy some stew for dinner. Ooh, this smells amazing. Well, daylight is fading, and we've been at this for hours, but the beef stew is finally ready, and we are about to dish it up. Oh.
I'm really looking forward to it. It's been smelling really good for the past few hours, and watching all the ingredients go in just makes me hungry and hungrier every time.
Oh yeah. What's with the flashing headgear here?
It's Christmas, or a holiday of some sort, and we're here celebrating. What's going on with yours?
I have a necklace that did much of the same, but it's made of cheap materials, and while I was moving wood earlier, I snapped the wire and it broke entirely. It took like, I don't know, just like a flick of force to remove the wire, so that's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate, but it proves that I am the more festive of the two of us.
Hey. Well, it's kind of sprinkling right now, actually. It's been sprinkling on and off for the last 30 minutes. Like, it's just a bare sprinkle, and we're hoping it stays this way and not a big storm, because that would suck with the weather being so cold right now.
Yeah, it was supposed to rain about 9 o'clock, according to the weather forecast that we saw last night. So we're going to try to get all of this in before, hopefully, the rain doesn't start, but
yeah. So
we're planning for it.
Still burning a fire here, but it's time for the stew. So let's dish it up. Warms your heart on a night such as tonight.
Spoon me. Yes, sir.
All right, time to dig in.
Ooh, let's see how hot it is.
Ooh, that's hot. Mmm. Not the beef.
Well done for sure.
It's really something that'll warm your core.
Oh yeah, I can feel it in my belly, warming me up. Between this and the fire, I don't think I'm worried about tonight at all. How about you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this will be hearty. It'll fill us right up. Well, the stew turned out great. What you think, JR?
I think it's pretty damn good. This is my third helping.
Really hits the spot on a cold night like tonight.
Yes, it's warming up the core for sure. Between this and the fire, feels like a nice summer night right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're just hoping that the rain doesn't pick up, but knowing our luck, it might just in a few hours. But until then, just enjoy the soup here. Sorry, the stew. Keep calling it soup. See our breath. It's pretty cold, and it's sprinkling rain, which makes it even colder. Nice sparkling headdress.
Thank you. It's very festive. Unlike yours.
Well, the stew was really good. How's it going, JR?
It's going well. Yeah, the stew was delicious. Warmed me up. Really satiated my hunger. And now we're just sitting by the fire and just kind of enjoying the light and the warmth that it provides.
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to hear, but it is still sprinkling rain, so we're dealing with that. It's not that much, and certainly not enough to put out the fire, but we put everything up under the canopy over here by the forester. JR took off his flashing Christmas lights, and they're over there flashing, as you can see. But we're just chilling out, so the rest of the night is just relaxed by the fire. Today's been just an absolutely chill day, you know, just showed up here at 9 a.m. and just hung out the farthest we've strayed from camp is up the hill to go see those campsites adjacent to us, and that's about it. Rain sounds like it's about to pick up, but that doesn't perturb us. You know, we'll be out here until the rain is pouring. Until then, let's enjoy the fire. You know, maybe if the rain lets up for long enough, we will have some more holiday treats. Got some Christmas sugar cookies. Hey, happy campers. We are still enjoying the fire. The rain is still sprinkling. It didn't really pick up too much, did it?
It was just a pretty constant drizzle there for about an hour and a half.
Yeah. So still dealing with that, but while we've got the ability to sit outside, I think it's time for another holiday treat. What do you think?
I'm here for that, yeah.
Okay, so let's get back over to the camp stove and cook something up. So what we're gonna have is some nice hot cocoa with a twist. Of course, keeping with the spirit, got to stir it up with peppermint sticks. So we got the hot cocoa with the peppermint sticks, and of course we need a little extra oomph from Santa's Little Helper. So I'm gonna do some 99 proof peppermint liqueur. JR is gonna take some bourbon. This is Benchmark Old Number 8 from Buffalo Trace. Pour it on our cocos and enjoy the cozy fire. Oh man, that's damn good. Nice peppermint, boozy peppermint hot chocolate.
Yeah, it's nice, hot, delicious, and warming up the core, just like the stew did. Keeping it warm, and it's gonna really help to sleep with.
Oh yeah. Cheers, my friend. Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Well, the fire's still going. It's not really sprinkling now, but we still feel like we're preparing for the worst with the weather rolling in later tonight. So while we still can, we're gonna enjoy the cozy fire and have another St. Bernardus Christmas Ale here. So
Cheers.
Cheers, my friend. What's the plan for the rest of the night?
Sit by the fire and wait for this rain, because I think it's coming. I just don't know when. So I've got my tent all set up and ready for when the rain begins. I'm gonna run right on in there and stay warm for the night. Maybe read a book and go to bed.
Yeah. It's been a nice long day here at camp. Really just spending all of it hanging out around the campsite here and just chilling, you know. So
it's been a very relaxing weekend.
Absolutely.
Very nice. Good recharging for the upcoming week before Christmas.
Yes, for sure. So while the fire burns out, we enjoy our Christmas ale and maybe call it an early night. But we'll see if anything else interesting happens tonight. But for now, hope everybody out there is having a good one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Headed off to bed. It's a little cold, a little wet, and a little windy, but otherwise good night for sure. So good night everyone, and see y'all in the morning.
Morning. So it did rain a good bit overnight, and we took everything and put it under the canopy here. I mean, that doesn't necessarily save it from getting wet, but it saves it from getting soaked, being poured on directly. I think I'm going to kick back a little bit before cleaning up or doing any camp chores or cooking breakfast or anything. Morning.
Morning. How's it going?
It's going okay.
How'd you sleep last night?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Went to bed early. I mean, we both went to bed a little early.
Yeah.
Yeah. You turned in, and then I hung around and burned off a little bit extra wood and made sure the fire was put out and pulled everything under the canopy just in case it rained. And it did rain, just as you kept predicting.
Yep.
So
it was slow and steady pretty much all night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of nice to hear the pitter-patter of raindrops on the roof of the Forester, and that wind was really picking up at some certain points of the night, too.
Yeah, it was whipping for a little bit there.
Yep. But I slept well. I mean, this is a super cozy setup in here. I had no problem at all staying warm. I didn't do any extra cold weather proofing to the sleep setup. I just had the Nemo Jazz 30 degree and my thermal layer on, and that's it. I stayed perfectly warm.
Nice.
Yeah, how'd you sleep?
Not too bad. It actually warmed up throughout the night. Like, I found myself taking layers off and everything. Had a little bit of a leak, and I was able to actually fix it from inside the tent by pulling on some lines. Kind of had to reach underneath and outside of my tent and kind of yank some stuff down in the corners, but it worked out.
Yeah, what was it like, tensioning your fly?
Yeah, I had to tension it a little more than I had already done, so.
Yeah. Well, it's a damp morning here, and we're crowded under the canopy. This is stay dry. But just going to hang out for a bit, maybe do some breakfast. One part about winter camping that you might not realize until you spend the night out here yourself is, with all the bugs gone, it's very quiet.
Eerily silent while you're sleeping.
Yeah, if there's no rain, if there's no wind, it's just dead silence out there. It's, yeah, peaceful and eerie at the same time.
You can hear every squirrel jumping through the trees in the middle of the night for a mile.
Well, that's a nice stack of flapjacks, if I don't say so myself.
Got some hot cakes here. Full of syrup. Scissor.
Well, we've gotten camp broken down, but there's a problem. Somehow the battery on the Forester seems to have gone dead, and it's not starting. So we need to get some help. Don't have phone service here. I'm gonna hike back up to the top of the mountain to see if I can call for help, and JR is gonna stay here and flag anybody down if they drive by. Doesn't seem likely since we only saw one car all day yesterday. But we've got to do something, because we'll be stuck here otherwise. Not good. Well, some good news. I was able to hike up the mountain over here and got through and was able to call for help. I called my father. He lives about an hour from here, lives up in the mountains, and he is gonna come meet us with jumper cables and jump off the Forester, and hopefully that will let it start up. This was rather stressful. I'm not sure what happened. The Forester started up last night. I turned it on before I went to sleep to warm it up with a heater for a few minutes, and this morning we packed all up and didn't try to start it until we were all packed and wouldn't start. So it is definitely a lesson in preparedness. I happen to have a little jumper cable box, like self-contained jumper box, that I didn't bring. So I'm gonna bring that from now on any trip. It's unfortunate, just didn't cross my mind to bring it this time. And I'm gonna test it out and see if it would even have enough voltage to jump the Forester. But everybody should have one of those if you're going out into the wilderness, especially if you're in one vehicle. So take that as a lesson from us. We learn from our mistakes, and if I wasn't able to call for help, this could have been a pretty big mistake. I mean, we did have all of our camp stuff, so if worst comes to worst, we could have hunkered down for another day or so, waited until someone else passed. But during the week, it might not have been as likely for someone to drive through here. We only saw one car come through on a Saturday. So as I'm hiking down, JR is down at the campsite, keeping a lookout, and he's got a radio. So JR, do you read me?
Yeah, what up?
I'm on my way back down to the campsite. Call for help successfully relayed.
So you don't need to stay up there and wait and see if he needs to call back?
No, he says he's gonna be on the way shortly. So I let him know that messages wouldn't get through or anything after that.
You have a walkie, you can jump on our channel so when he gets close we can hear him.
Well, now all that's left to do is go back to camp and just wait. I would have liked to do this hike under better circumstances. It's a pretty nice view up here. This is Chestnut Mountain, by the way. Didn't know which mountain it was, so looked it up on the GPS map. Well, this is a first for us here at DK Adventure Co., but it happens. It's part of trips, it's part of camping. We just try to learn from the mistakes and do all we can to mitigate any situations like this that arise. We depend a lot on our vehicles, and it's a big deal when they fail. Well, back at the campsite, got the chairs back out. We have no other choice but to sit and wait.
Yep. What do we have? About probably an hour, hour and a half to kill
Yeah.
before your dad comes up to jump us, and hopefully that's the problem. We don't actually
Yeah.
know for sure if the battery is the issue.
Yep. So here's hoping that that's all it is, and then I'll have the juice to just drive it back into town, and then I'll deal with it at that point in time. But we were planning to head out of here around 9:30 or so, and we're not going to get out of here until at least noon to 1 o'clock if the car is able to start. Forced to spend more time in the great outdoors.
It's not the worst place to be stranded. This is also why you bring extra, a little extra food, a little extra water, stuff like that, just in case something like this happens.
Yeah, we've got s'mores stuff that we didn't even break into last night. We've got a bag of trail mix. I've got half of a sack of potatoes.
Ooh, yeah, that's what we'll be cooking up here.
Yeah, you can eat them raw like apples.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we have enough food that if we were, for whatever reason, stranded another day, we could be fine.
yeah. And hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind camping instead of going to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. My boss might, but you know what? That's fine.
I'm glad we can now laugh and smile about the situation, because there was a few minutes there where things were kind of uncertain. So I'm really glad I was able to get a phone signal at the top of the mountain.
Yep. I guess this makes me think maybe in the future when we find a campsite, one of the things we should do is maybe figure out where we can get signal if we can't get it at the campsite, just for emergency future purposes.
Yeah. A few ways to avoid this would be, like I said, when I was hiking down, bring the backup jumper box, or, if you're with people with more than one vehicle, then you can use the two vehicles to jump each other off if something happens. I mean, also like a Garmin, something like that would be useful to have when you come out here. Then you can just send like text messages like normal and phone calls and everything too. So
Yep.
that is, I mean, part of getting out into the wilderness is going to remote places, and this place honestly isn't that remote. Like, we're maybe 3 or 4 miles down from a main state highway, but we are up in the mountains, and this whole place is national forest, so there's no cell towers nearby.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do to pass the time here? You got your book?
Got my book. Read a little last night. Guess I'll go ahead and read a couple more chapters while we wait.
Yeah. Well, that's the first one, the Fellowship, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was reading it a few campouts ago, and we moved our stuff around at the house at one point, and I lost my book, so I haven't been able to read it until now.
Oh, you lost your book. I was gonna
Yeah.
suggest that it was because you're an incredibly slow reader.
No. I mean, 0 words per minute over the past 4 months, but otherwise, I feel like I'm pretty quick, so.
Okay. Well, we just sit and wait, I suppose. The rain has stopped, so that's good. But nothing to do but kill time at this point. So we will let you guys know what happens. Oh, I think our hero is here. Yay! Our help has arrived. Some cable action. Thank you, Dad. Moments of truth. Yay! We did it. On the road again, coming out of the forestry road. Shout out to my dad for coming out there and helping us out. All it needed was a jump, as you saw.
Yeah,
So
he came through clutch.
oh yeah. So we are on the way out now. Not going to turn off the car until we get back to town where I can properly take a look. Hoping that it was just a little battery drain and I might just need to put a new battery in and that'll be the end of it. The battery in here has been in for a few years, it looks like, so that's how it goes, you know. Not sure what happened exactly, but hey, we're driving now, so we can put it behind us. That's another trip in the books for us, though. So hope you enjoyed hanging out with us in our camping adventures this year. It's going to be the last camp out of the year for us, and it's mid-December, but we'll be back at it again next year, which is just in a couple weeks.
Yep, we're looking forward to it. We don't have any concrete plans yet, but we'll probably do something similar, but we haven't quite decided yet, so I guess we'll see. So, thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, get outdoors and have fun.
Cheers.